My name is Jamal Wheaton, and this is my presentation of primary research findings for the Victory Media Lyft Capstone Thesis Project. The primary reason for this research was to collect information from members of the military community to determine what information and content is relevant, as well as identify problems that this campaign could help address in the community. One area that was relevant to this research was providing an overview and an understanding of the client's industry to include key demographics of the industry. Another area of research that was significant was providing an overview of the client's intent as it related to this campaign. It was important to establish this information in order for the primary research groups to have an understanding of the entire project in order to provide valuable feedback. Primary research was conducted using an in-person focus group as well as online surveys and questionnaires sent via social media and email. Individuals for the focus group were selected by the researcher based on proximity, availability, and relevance to the perceived target market. The online group was selected from a group of current and former military members in order to ensure statistical significance could be met among both groups. Members were selected with the intent of representing a fair cross-section of the military. Enlisted members, officers, and spouses were interviewed from an age range as close to the target market with outliers in order to attempt to gain an accurate understanding of the issue. Members of the focus group were notified by asking them face-to-face to participate in a focus group to be conducted at a preset time and place. Members of the online group were notified through social media to participate in a questionnaire. Those who agreed were then emailed a questionnaire to complete and return to the researcher. Primary research was conducted by asking a focus group a number of pre-selected questions as they applied to the client's PR campaign. The online group received the same questions, but completed the questions on an individual basis. The focus group consisted of 6 individuals, and the online research group consisted of 9 for a total of 15 participants. During the research, the individuals provided valuable feedback pertaining to the questions that were asked, as well as additional feedback that had not been addressed in the preset questions. The results of the focus group were videotaped and recorded in order to be referenced for future use. The online results were collected via questionnaires that were filled out. Demographic data was collected from all participants to include age, gender, marital status, race, military status, and location. The data collected from this research was evaluated for normal distribution, averages, and statistical data, such as mean, mode, and median, to determine the statistical significance of the data. The sample group consisted of 53% male, 47% female, 60% married, 40% single, 47% black, 33% Caucasian, and 20% classified as other, such as mixed race. The state of Virginia accounted for 40% of all participants, with 20% located in North Carolina, 13% in Texas, and 7% from Kentucky, Indiana, Oklahoma, and Georgia. The participants in this study provided very useful information. The idea of a company like Victory Media partnering with Lyft was perceived as a positive idea among all participants. While most participants were familiar with brands that Victory Media is responsible for, only 1 or 2 participants knew that Victory Media was the company responsible for them. Likewise, when asked about Lyft, a number of participants were vaguely familiar with Lyft, while all participants were familiar with Lyft's competitor Uber. Most participants also stated that they thought Uber and Lyft were the same company, as many of the cars they see have both logos on them. Single participants were generally receptive to the idea of using a ride-sharing service to go out on weekends as well as other occasional events, while married participants stated reasons such as going to sporting events, sightseeing, and going to the airport instead of driving. Over 80% of the participants questioned said they would be receptive to following a social media series that follows veterans who drive for Lyft. Most also stated that the series would have to be entertaining in order for them to engage with the series. Most of the participants stated that they would like to see an increase in a service like Lyft on military installations, as the transportation alternative is taxicabs. The focus group's participants also discussed the negative experiences that they have had with taxicabs around military communities, noting things like cars that smell, drivers who were rude, and high fares to travel short distances. Overall, the feedback gained through this research was very positive and serves as an excellent source to build this capstone project on. One of the most important insights gained during this research was pertaining to what participants would like to see from a company who desired to be more involved in the military community. While the answers varied from person to person, every answer related to the fact that involvement in the military community needed to be much more than simply providing services to the military. Many define this involvement as contribution to military causes, such as wounded warriors, hiring of veterans, and an increased awareness of issues that may be unique to military families. Our charts highlight some of the key demographics concerning this campaign. 59% of the participants in this study were between the ages of 25 to 34, which coincides with the target market of this campaign. Additionally, 60% of the participants were male, with most being enlisted males. This will be important research as it helps determine the type of content and primary target market details of who this campaign will communicate with. The information collected in this study will be used and evaluated to assist in designing the social media content and strategy of this campaign. By determining what is important to the target market, effective strategies can be discussed and implemented in order to meet the needs of the client as well as the target market. Additional focus groups will be conducted periodically in order to determine the effectiveness of content as well as to determine if the engagement strategy selected is effective. These focus groups would be conducted after content selection and prior to the launch of this campaign. Here we have references used in collecting and understanding the primary research collection and findings. Thank you for listening and have a great day.